A very simple experiment to understand that our exhaled gas contains carbon dioxide. So very simple text for carbon dioxide is carbon dioxide have capacity to convert lime water into milk. So this is a simple method. Directly you can blow out gas that is coming from your mouth into lime water. It turns into milky white, proving that your exhaled gas is carbon dioxide. This is a tougher a little bit complex method to identify that carbon dioxide is present in the exhaled gas. You need to connect two test tubes which have lime water with two tubes, one smaller one larger one smaller one larger one, and one from each of these tubes are connected to your mouth or nose. And when you inhale the gas, there is no chance for gas to come from this test tube. It should definitely come from here. So the gas that is dissolved in this lime water, again it escapes into air, it reaches your nose. And when you are exhaling, both sides, air will reach this side also, but compared to this side there is less contact of the exhaled gas with lime water. This side the lime water is directly mixing with the exhaled gas. So it turns more white compared to this. Right? So that is an experiment to prove that exhaled gas has carbon dioxide. Nose, nasal cavity. The external openings which help us to breathe are nose, and after that comes nasal cavity. Nose opens into a cavity called nasal cavity, and the common passage between this nasal cavity and oral cavity is pharynx. After that, it is larynx or voice box. Okay. English is called as voice box because here there are vocal cords. These vocal cords are membranous structures which produce voice. Whenever the air passes through it, voice is produced. Okay. You can even observe the vibrations of your voice box when you put your finger on the throat. When you're speaking, you can feel the vibrations of vocal cords. Okay. So the vibrations in vocal cord cause the sound to come outside. Right? Next one is trachea. Trachea. It splits into two branches called bronchus. Bronchus singular, bronchi plural. Each bronchus again is divided into a number of branches called bronchioles. Bronchioles. At the end of each of these bronchiole, there is a round sac-like structure. There is a round sac-like structure called alveolus. Alveolus singular, alveoli plural. Over the trachea, there are small cartilage rings. These cartilage rings hold the trachea firmly in its position. These cartilage rings start from trachea. They continue in bronchus and also in bronchioles. These cartilage rings help to hold the trachea, bronchus and bronchioles firmly. Okay, so that is the structure of respiratory system. Now, what happens when you breathe in? The air passes inside. So yesterday I said you why do air go inside? What is the reason? When the volume inside the chest cavity increases, pressure decreases, and we breathe inside. When volume inside the chest cavity decreases, pressure increases, and we are breathing out. So when the air enters inside, it passes from nose to nasal cavity to pharynx to larynx. During this movement, air starts becoming warm and reaches to body temperature. That is why when you put your hand and breathe out or blow some air over your palm, you feel it is warm because immediately after air enters into our body, it adjusts to our body temperature. After it passes through this larynx, it passes through trachea, bronchus, bronchioles, and finally reaches alveoli. Okay, I have drawn here only some 10, 8, oh, 7. 7 alveolus. This side I drew only 6 alveolus. But it's not the case. The total lung is packed with alveolus. So imagine how many branches arise from each bronchus. It divides into millions of branches. And each branch has one alveoli at the end. It's not a space. Lung is not an open space. It is a bunch of grape-like structures called alveolus. Okay. It is like a structure, like suppose you have taken a polythene bag and filled with a bunch of grapes. Similarly, these lungs are also filled with bronchus, bronchioles and alveolus. That's all. There is no space inside the lungs. All the space that is present is only in this minute microscopic alveoli. Okay. What happens when air reaches alveoli? See, when air goes inside, there is no filter for oxygen. Only oxygen is absorbed? Why not other gases? You know that air contains 78% of nitrogen, only 21% of oxygen, 0.03% of carbon dioxide, remaining other gases. But nitrogen is more, it's not getting into our body. Why only oxygen will go outside? Why carbon dioxide? What is the reason? Only oxygen and carbon dioxide are being exchanged. Why not nitrogen? There should be some reason. The reason behind this is during respiration process, I said energy is released from glucose molecules when oxygen is used up. And as a result of respiration, see now, our body has used up all the oxygen, so oxygen is very less. For each glucose molecule, 6 carbon dioxide molecules are produced. So here what happens in our body cells, carbon dioxide gas increases. So the concentration of carbon dioxide in gas that is coming into our body is 0.03%. The concentration of carbon dioxide in body cells is 4.4%. So you know very well, concentration difference. If there is concentration difference, what happens? Carbon dioxide tries to move from high concentration region to low concentration region. So it enters into the alveoli. What about oxygen? Oxygen concentration is 21% inside the air that we are breathing inside. Whereas in our body uses all the oxygen. So percentage reduces to 16%. So there is a concentration difference again. So as a result, oxygen tries to go inside, carbon dioxide tries to come outside. Okay, that means oxygen enters from alveoli to our body, carbon dioxide comes from our body to alveoli. Okay, only thing is because of concentration difference. So when air enters into our body, it's normal air that is full of gases, all the gases. But the decision is taken because of concentration difference. Okay. What happens to the oxygen and carbon dioxide that enters? Each and every organ of our body is distributed with blood vessels. Similarly, the alveoli of lungs also have a network of blood vessels over it. There is a network of blood vessels on each and every alveoli. So, like this. If you take a bunch of alveoli, so these are blood vessels. Blood vessels are those small tube-like structures which carry blood. And this is alveoli. Okay, if there is a bunch of alveoli like this all bunch of alveoli have a network of this blood capillaries like this, like a mesh. This is a bunch of what do you say, network of blood vessels. So for every alveoli, definitely there is a blood vessel in contact. So when the exchange of gas occurs, the gas actually enters into blood. This is alveoli. I'll draw a very simple blood vessel. This is the blood vessel. So actually exchange of gases occurs between blood and alveoli. Carbon dioxide enters into the blood and oxygen leaves the blood. Sorry. Oxygen enters into blood, carbon dioxide leaves the blood. So carbon dioxide enters from blood into alveoli. Oxygen enters from alveoli into blood. What happens? They'll combine with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin and carboxyhemoglobin. Okay. So when carbon dioxide is transported into the in the blood, it forms carboxyhemoglobin and transfers in blood. When oxygen is transferring in the blood, it forms oxyhemoglobin in transfers in the blood. So hemoglobin is very important for transport of oxygen or carbon dioxide in the blood. Right? So that is about human respiration.